For this video, we're going to be talking about fluids. Now remember, fluids is anything that has the ability to flow, and we talked about water and gas as both being fluids. 60 to 70% of the human body is made up of fluids. And here are some examples of the different fluids and what their uses are in the body. So the fluids would be oxygen, blood, sweat, saliva, urine, and stomach acid. So oxygen, through oxidation, it changes food and water into energy within the body, and it's also involved in breathing, which is pretty important. Blood is that transportation system to and from the cells. Sweat cools the body. Saliva, it's lubrication for your food, and it's the beginning of the digestive process. Urine eliminates dissolved waste, and stomach acid is involved in the digestion of your food. Now, these are the ways fluids are the functions that function naturally within the body, and when these processes don't happen naturally, or there's an issue or an illness or an injury, there are technologies or machines that can replace these actions within the body. Characteristics of fluids. Again, anything that has the ability to flow. So that movement of particles through something. So whether it be a pipeline or over a rock or around a rock, over a wing of a plane. Now, your question for today is, glaciers are considered fluids. And I want you to do a little research and see if you can tell me why. There's two different types of flow when it comes to fluids. One is laminar flow and the other is turbulent flow. I'm going to use the example of the wing of a plane. So when we think about when a plane is flying in air and it's sort of in a stable position, its wing is kind of horizontal, maybe a little bit tilted. And this is called laminar flow. This is aerodynamic. So you can see that the air, gas is moving, and it moves pretty smoothly, kind of goes in a path. So it's kind of like the wing is cutting through the air in an efficient manner, right? Turbulent flow is when you think of a plane is landing and they tilt the wing, or the flaps come up, so there's like an extension, so it's not sort of this smooth sort of movement across the wing. This creates this turbulent flow where the air literally sort of turns around, and it's not as smooth and aerodynamic as it was, and that definitely has a change in the movement or the speed as to which something moves through the air. So if you think about the reason they do that is because they're trying to slow down the plane very, very quickly. So we hear the word aerodynamic, and we think about in racing, when someone wants to move very quickly, they think about making themselves aerodynamic. We hear about this sort of in race cars and other vehicles, and even people when they're trying to move through something quickly. So they're wanting to create or design a vehicle that would have the smoothest flow of air over or around the vehicle as possible. That makes it more aerodynamic. So have a look at if your family has a car, have a look at the features of the car and consider how aerodynamic it would be. Are there aspects of the car that would create turbulent flow? And are there aspects of the car that would create laminar flow?